and TRell had this conversation many times. Let's just keep the friendship cool and let's keep the relationship cool regardless of what's going to happen content-wise. I don't know how everybody forgot about that so easily because at one point I was getting very, very enthusiastic responses about that. I even remember after the house phone thing happened, there was like an offhand comment that I made in the group chat at the time where I said, you know, all this shit is making me feel like I don't even want to do this shit anymore. And when I say do that shit anymore, I mean like have hosts on the channel. I don't know if people like comprehend this, but No Jumper is a viable business outside of podcasting and outside of doing interviews.
Yeah.
When I say that, what I mean is that our social media, from the Snapchat to the Facebook to the fact that we still make a good amount of money on YouTube in the long run, even if we don't post anything, to the fucking Instagram posts, to the, there's just a lot. There's a lot of different things that we're doing. And I could very easily, and it seemed tempting to me at various points over the last couple of months, I could very easily be like, you know what? We're just going to chill. I'm not going to make any podcast type content, or maybe we'll pivot to some other kind of content that we'll be able to do something with. But when I said that in the group chat after that house phone shit went down, what happened? I get phone calls from AD and TRell saying, listen, we got love for you. I don't want to see you stop it. But if you do stop doing this content, I'll still fuck with you. I'll still, you know, we're still cool. We're still friends, etc. Which really meant a lot to me and, like, you know, helped make me want to keep going, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to that. Like, that, like what does happen to that? Like, why? Because, again, like, I did a 2-minute conversation with Sharp where I got a little bit emotional, or not even emotional, but I got real open about the fact that I felt like I missed TRell. And then I get a half-hour fucking clip with bullet holes in the thumbnail in which he doesn't make any kind of case about why things changed between us besides the money.
You really don't.
Yeah, Big Baby JTV. It's like almost comical how much of a total and 100% victory I have with my narrative. It's almost funny how every person who disliked all my Adam22 videos and commentary and how I said the No Jumper and the whole culture vulture, trash, evil, narcissistic, lack of accountability narrative, how everybody that disliked those videos looks stupider and stupider every time. Every time. And I look smarter and smarter because I spoke the truth. Let me make this perfectly clear. Y'all should go and subscribe to Milk 74, right? Why? Because he's been doing even better coverage than me, right? And I'm not stealing any of his talking points. I'm just a real nigga, and I can recognize real stuff. And I consider myself a voice of the culture because I speak the real. Every time that Adam22 goes and tries to hypothetically protect himself or defend himself against allegations, against all these things, he looks worse and worse. Now, why? Because he doesn't look at himself in the mirror as the problem for anything. There's actually been a term created for this, right? It's called a savior complex, right? A white savior complex. Now, let's get off the racial part, right? Let's just say that Adam22 was not a culture vulture, which he is, right? Let's say he wasn't, right? He's still going to be, one, a terrible friend for what he did to AD, what he did to House Phone before AD, right? Specifically by exposing a House Phone sexuality. Number two, for AD and talking smack behind his back to other staff members, right? A terrible friend to Lush for firing him in front of his, in the middle of a stream, right? Number four, for underpaying TRell, who was literally one of the most talented people in his staff, right? And for five, giving people with mediocre to trash talent raises and promotions and more money, aka almighty suspect, right? So not only is he a bad friend, he's a bad boss, and that's why there was a mass exodus, right? So let's move off the white boy-ish. Let's move off the culture vulture narrative, because I've said that narrative multiple times, and if you can't see it, you don't want to see it, it's fine. You can disagree with me. I like that. I like disagreement. But let's go with the fact that he's a terrible friend and a trash boss. Let's go with the fact that he said he was losing money on live streams, lots of money on live streams, then why did you continue losing money and going in that lane? Why didn't you suggest something different? Right? See, I give Adam22 the benefit that he knows how to find good talent. I'm not going to take that away from him. That's nothing. I'm not going to take that away from him. But he doesn't know how to maintain talent because he's not a good person. He's a terrible person. Let me give you an example of somebody who is a pretty terrible person, but can maintain talent and grow businesses. Dave Portnoy. Questionable morals, questionable person, can maintain talent, keep talent, actually develop talent to something bigger. I give him props. Right? Let me tell you somebody who can also do that. Joe Budden. Other than Rory and Mal, Joe Budden has been able to maintain talent, develop talent, and keep talent. Those are facts. But Adam22, the way he's treating this TRell thing, right? Like TRell was just a regular schmegular dude that should be thankful that Adam22 descended from the heavens and blessed him, as if Adam22 was not profiting $1 million a month. Let me tell you something. Adam22 went on interviews on Vlad TV and said he was making $1 million a month, right? During the peak, essentially, of No Jumper. Do you think that TRell was not part of that? Y'all don't think that AD was a part of that? This dude is lying out his teeth. And people are still going to defend this goofy, right? Because they think that he's right. No, he's a piece of trash person and a trash boss. And look, I'm not saying I wish him to fail. And I'm not saying that I wish the whole No Jumper empire to fail. But, life has a way of rearranging things. And life has a way of humbling people, right? To see that he does the No Jumper show on the same day as Back on Fig, and Back on Fig's numbers are annihilating his. Back on Fig is getting more numbers, more money, more everything, is one of the most funniest, hilarious, dope things I have ever seen. And I want Back on Fig to succeed. And the way Back on Fig can succeed is by not doing the same manipulative, trash tactics that No Jumper does, not falling into that drama spell, not falling into that nonsense. This is a long video. Show love. It's going to be on Rumble too, because Rumble is when I get up my ish off. And if y'all want to support the channel, join the Patreon. YouTube is dead. It's almost over. So I just want y'all to recognize that Adam22 is a terrible person. This clip that I put in the beginning shows it. No accountability, no self-awareness. Just trash on top of trash on top of trash, and treating people trash. Leonard's going to divorce him. They're not even going to go past the altar. I promise you that. Because you treat people bad over a continuous period of time throughout your life, and you see nothing wrong about your character and your issue, and you have no humility within you. Things like this constantly happen. This dude is a 40-year-old man. He's not going to change. He's not going to change. It is what it is. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Longer video than always. It's going to go on Rumble. I think my content plan is going to be 3 videos on YouTube, more, or at least 2 or 4 bonus videos on Rumble. Y'all tap in. Link in bio. I'm out.